What's going on? It's your mentor Edwin Deras here for the mentor questions of the day. And just to tell you guys a little bit about myself, I'm a business owner that has 5 retail locations, 5 financial service centers, and I'm here as a mentor. So I'm thankful to Sean. I'm thankful for the AO. I'm thankful for the group, and I just want to say thank you guys for submitting these questions. So here we go. All right, the first question that we got going on here is from Roland Bernath. The question says here, Joe, the first question says here, how to make employees accept each other and make a team. In our family business, retail and wholesale shop, there are 10 females working together on the floor. They do everything from receiving the products, stocking them on the shelves, dealing with in-store customers, then at the cashier sell the products. They rotate between tasks. There are 4 of them that work together as a team. But they also form a clique, so they don't accept other people working with them. And this puts them in a very hard position to hire new people because eventually they won't feel welcome and part of the team. I need help with strategy and communication. One of the 4 employees is the head of the shop. So with this question, I'm glad you asked this, and I feel like this is something that I feel like a lot of people will run into. This issue, any person that has that's been part of a company, anybody that's leading a company is going to experience this, where you're like, oh, I don't like my coworker, oh, I don't like this, or the people don't like each other, and they're kind of bickering with each other. So the main thing that I would say here, as far as because your question says how to make employees accept each other and make a team, I feel like first of all, you gotta. I would say that this is something that you're gonna see this popping up over time, because this is something that's just continuous. You just look at, the way that look at the world is, right? If you look at the world as a whole, like everybody has different personalities, different viewpoints. Certain people believe one thing, another person believes another thing. And so some people are very outgoing, some people are more quiet. Some people are all about reading a book or doing audible books. So everybody has a differing personality, and so in your business, what you would like to do is have everybody be in sync. And I understand, and so that's an interesting thing. So what I would want to ask you, Roland, as I would want to ask you is what's the issue? I see that you said here they're not feeling welcomed, right? They're not feeling welcomed when they come in, when they have new employees that are feeling welcome. And I would say, is that clique causing them not to feel welcome, or what else is causing them to not feel welcome, right? You know what I mean? So for example, and let's say on this live stream, 2 people said hi, so I feel welcome, right? So people like to say hello, they feel welcomed. Are you welcoming them? Are you saying, hey, nice to meet you, I'm glad you joined my company, this is how we do things, and kind of maybe hear from the owner himself, hear from you. What are they hearing from you when they get started? What are they hearing from you? Do they know that they have your support if things aren't going as they want them to go at the store level, right? It's always important for the employees to feel like they have an open line of communication with you when they're starting, because if they don't have an open line of communication with you so they can let you know what their issues are, they might just think maybe they don't like the direct report or something like that. So I would just look at what other ways can you look at that will help them have a smoother transition into starting with your company. I think that would help solve a lot of those issues, and I would say mainly that. And yeah, I will start there for sure. All right, question number 2 is from Gabriel Suarez. Looking for suggestions on advice on sourcing non-traditional or non-SBA financing options for my franchisees. Loans anywhere from $75K to $150K. Business description. Because my franchise model includes the sale of CBD oil, most traditional lenders such as major banks or the SBA will not offer financing to our franchisees. I need help finding alternative financing solutions for our franchisees. Even a lead to someone very experienced in this field that may be able to help me is appreciated. Sean, please forward this to all mentors that you think could help. I am the founder of Natural Life Storage Franchise Company, offering brick and mortar franchise opportunities. Natural Life is a chain of retail, wellness, and health stores specializing in all natural products. All right, awesome, Gabriel. Thank you so much for submitting this question. Now, I would say, first of all, I love that you asked this question because everybody, I think for the most part, everybody wants financing. Everybody wants a little bit of financing. Everybody, even through this whole pandemic, especially in the U.S. and even in other countries, we're able to get some government loans. In the U.S. they had the paycheck protection, 61,000. People had the EIDL, 150 up to 150,000, and they had other grants. And then there's outside of government loans, there's other bank loans, there's investor money. So, and then if you have franchisees, you want to set them up to be as successful as they can. Now, for my company, and my company is a money services business, and I also sell things online as well. So like the more cash that I have, the more capital I have, the more inventory I can have, and the more I can grow. So I'm imagining with you having a brick and mortar company is kind of similar, where you have the money to do it. You're able to weather the cash flow, and you're able to grow and withstand any issues that come up. So what I would say about this is, if I'm not a CBD oil, but what I would say is my business, money services business, is not a bank-friendly industry. You have to kind of go out of the banks and get investors to do that. So like when I'm looking to expand to 50, 100 locations, that's what I need to do. So what I would say for your company, I would suggest look at what other CBD oil franchises are doing. Are there other CBD oil franchises? What are they doing? What type of franchising are they offering their people? I don't know if marijuana franchises exist, but if those existed, what would they do? I'm pretty sure, I'm not certain, but maybe they might not be going to banks either. So it's important to just kind of look and see what are other people that are doing non-traditional businesses that are not bank friendly doing, right? And see what they're offering. What are they offering their prospective franchisers, right? And maybe even go to some of these conferences that are offering franchises where these people are going to be at, and just talk to them at the booth and say, what type of franchising opportunities are you guys doing, and all that stuff. That way you get an opportunity to see what are the opportunities that are out there, right? And so I would just leave that at that, and just kind of I would say if the banking isn't something that's friendly to your industry, I would look to see what other places you can get it, most likely from private investors and other things like that. All right, next question is from Stella, and what's it called? The question that says she says is, hello, I am brand new to inventory management for my apparel company. I'm looking for resources on how to properly inventory manage in order to set up processes. What software, devices, etc. can I use to manage inventory? Business description. I'm adding my first labeled fitness apparel to my web shop, and I could use some organization tips on how to run things smoothly and effectively. I am in Croatia. Is there a certain web store, software I should use? Financial software, warehouse management layout, any help you can provide would be appreciated. Awesome. All right, Stella. So I'm glad all these questions are submitted. I like these because, like, for example, this question is something that anybody that has inventory, like physical inventory, or I'm guessing just physical inventory, will have to go through at some point, is inventory management of the things that they have going on, and that's something I've gone through. I go through it with the cash inventory because I do a lot of money transactions, and I also have physical products at my store, and that I sell online. So, there's a couple of different softwares that I use. And what I would mainly say about this question, Stella, is the main important thing about any inventory management system is to have an inventory management system, right? And I went the longest time without inventory management. And it was just like the worst decision that I made before I got inventory management system, because when you're not tracking that, you don't know what you have, you don't know what's selling, you don't know what the best sellers are, making replenishing your products, it just makes it a lot more difficult. So having this type of stuff, it just it makes it a lot easier. So that's the first thing I would say. I would say congratulations for thinking about it, because you know what, it's one thing to think about it, and then it's an even better to implement it, right? So what I would say is, maybe it matters, but I would say what matters most is that you get a software, right? You get some sort of software. In Croatia, I'm not sure what softwares are available there, But I would just look and Google what are software. Google the what's it called, the inventory management systems that I can use in Croatia. And for example, relating to that, I was gonna say, what website are you using? What website are you, or what the platform that you're using? I would look to make sure that the inventory management system that you get integrates with that, right? I know a lot of people in the U.S. use a lot of Shopify, for example. So Shopify has their own POS system for stores, and they have their own inventory management system that links with that. But I would just look at the whatever website that you're using. I would make sure that it links, it seamlessly links with the inventory in your website. That would be the step number one. Just like, I don't know. Let's say, for example, you're using Shopify. What inventory management systems link with Shopify? Or I think that itself links with Shopify, but like what other ones link with it, right? And so just kind of going deeper into that, and then once you get it. So one thing is doing the research to find one, right? Once you have your inventory management system, the second and the hardest step is implementing. I picked an inventory management system, and I didn't touch it for an entire year because it was too much. And then by the time the year passed, I ended up switching to another company, and then I got started. So what I would say is, after you pick the company, what I would say is that another important thing is to know that it's important to get someone else to help you with this part. Because, like, let's say I don't know how busy you are. I would assume you're a busy person. So what I would say is, like, you want to have someone that can help you implement this. Even if it's one day a week that person can help you, but they can help you take photos, implement it, upload it to your inventory management system, take photos, upload it, put all the descriptions that you need, link it to your website. As long as you're able to do that and continue to do that, I feel like you'll be good. Because if you try to do it on your own, I think that will definitely cause some issues, just because a lot of times it's just like you get caught up and you just abandon the project because there's so much details that goes into it. So I would definitely recommend just finding something that's available, the softwares that are available online, and paying a monthly fee. I pay like $450 for 3 stores, for 3 jewelry stores, and I pay like $100 for like my Amazon one. So, and I have like two e-commerce ones, like that one and another one that's also specific to Amazon. It's called I forget, but anyway, I have 2. So, but they're like they have different purposes, each of them. So anyway, what I'm saying is that just do your research, and then you can't go wrong as long as you have something. All right, next question. Christopher Joseph. Have you heard of Amway E-commerce businesses? If so, what are your experiences with them? And if I get an MLM, how should I determine if it is right for me? I was reached out to be a so-called millionaire through LinkedIn, and I believe he is trying to recruit me for this whole Amway partnership where I would go through a vetting process, meet entrepreneurs, go to seminars, and then maybe get a partnership offer. The guy seems great, and he graduated in engineering from the University of Calgary, which is where I'm studying at. Created a multi-million-dollar engineering company and wanted to stop trading time for money. He went to e-commerce, met a guy who retired at 27, created some Amway businesses. This seems to tick off all of my red flags. Feels too good to be true. Why would a successful person want to mess with me? He wouldn't. He got a little defensive when I brought up Amway, pyramid schemes, and such, and I feel like he tried to play up my emotions a bit. He also spoke heavily about my mentorship, not the actual business. Am I thinking this has bad written all over it, or is my poor mindset not accepting a good opportunity? He said it would take 5 years to build something worthwhile, and I'm pretty sure in 5 years, business would be generating good revenue. Do I try to leverage his knowledge and thoughts on e-commerce, or do I just say I'm not interested? Would welcome your thoughts. Seems like a different sort of guru approach, so to speak. The same promise of I was where you were, I made a business, I'll show you exactly how to do it now, and you'll be retiring in 6 years. Any recommendations going forward on how to deal with him? All right, perfect. This is another, all these are great questions. So this is another great question from Christopher. I think that everything has a time and place for everything, and I feel like there's no there are bad businesses, but I would just say that there is no really good or bad business. I feel like any person can be successful in different types of businesses. There's people making $1 million plus on MLMs, and there's people that are making nothing on MLM. And so what I would just ask you, Christopher, is there's a couple things that I would bring up. First of all, number one, you said that this brings up a lot of red flags for you. So that's red flag number one for me. It brings up red flags for you, then you're skeptical day one. This is kind of something that's kind of gonna be in the front, like in the forefront of the whole time. Like if you hit a stumble on the road, you're gonna be like, I knew it. This shit was a scam. So I would be careful if you're already thinking you're skeptical at day one. I would consider maybe not doing that. Maybe there's other opportunities out there. And another thing is to look out maybe a red flag, because a red flag you could feel like maybe it might be fear, like, hey, am I scared? Am I like don't want to go out and sell to people? Or maybe I don't want to go sell this. I don't want to go do this. I don't want to go do that. And so I would look at the red flag. Is it a red flag? It sounds like it's a red flag. So maybe it's not a business that you wanna get into. That's perfectly fine, right? And it's a business that you do want to get into. I would dive deeper into it. Personally, if I've done an MLM before that I wasn't successful in, which was ACN back in like 2011, 2012. And I didn't know what I was doing back then. And maybe today I wouldn't get into an MLM personally. It doesn't mean MLMs are bad. I feel like there are people that I know people personally that are making good money on MLMs. Not, I don't know about Amway, but in other MLMs. So what I would say is, if you really want to get into something like this, I would just, one of my friends that turned down an MLM said, he asked the person recruiting him, let me see the paycheck that you're getting. Is that the type of money that you want to get? So you want to see if that person is making the type of money that you want to make. What is the type of money that you want to make? And I would just look at your overall. I would look at your overall goals that you have. Does going and signing up with the Amway or with this person, does it meet the goals that you have as a person? Right? Does it meet the time goals, the work goals, the income goals, the geography goals? Does it have those type of things that are coming up? So I would definitely just definitely take that into account. Does it match up with what you're looking for, basically? And that kind of makes it clear for you if it's a yes or a no. So just I would definitely take that into account for sure. All right, next question. Erica Wilkinson says, how do I think bigger in my business? My company does very well as it stands, but I'm trying to change my perspective a bit. I feel like I'm looking from the ground up, not from the top down. I found myself working more in my business versus on building my business, building it. What are some techniques you have used to guide this process? We are a professional luxury cleaning company. We have incorporated hospitality and tourism management to create a unique system that allows you to experience the difference. We have incorporated hospitality and tourism management to create a unique system. Okay. Elevator pitch. I own a luxury cleaning company on the Gulf Coast beaches. We clean and manage multi-million-dollar homes for A-listers in the elite area of our area. All right, perfect. This is a great question as well. I would just say that I feel like as a business owner, we're always looking to think bigger, right? Thinking bigger is something that I feel like it's a natural. Sorry guys, it's a natural thing. Like we're always thinking like, how can I be better? Like let's say in the world in life, we're always thinking, how can we be better? How can we be better today? How can we do this better? How can I be a better, a better boyfriend, girlfriend, husband? How can I be a better brother? How can I be a better family member? How can I be a better friend? So this is a great question. How do I think bigger in my business? It's kind of similar. Bigger is almost like, how can I be better in my business? And I feel like there's a lot of things that we can do to think bigger in the business, And I'll just list a couple that I do, that I feel that others should do, and I feel like that would help you out as well. Number one, I would just say mentors. I feel like a lot of times mentors, it's like mentorship, like here on the tribe, we're in this video, is you asking a question, that's step one. Mentorship, mentors, asking questions. I feel like thinking bigger, this is something about thinking bigger. It's like, hey, how can I think bigger? Let me ask a question. Maybe that will kind of create a spark for me to head this direction versus kind of going down that way, right? So what I would say, number one, mentors, is the mentorship level, like just asking questions, which is great. There's like for example, Sean always has a lot of events going on. Those are really great to open up your mind. I feel like if you step out and you go out to an event and then you talk to other people that are thinking the same thing, it opens your mind up to be able to think bigger, because you're like, wow, you know what? I left what I'm doing every single day, like doing work, doing the business, and then got new ideas. So I would say, so I guess I'm talking about a little bit of also attending events. Live events are important. I would say also just reaching out and getting mentorship too from other people. And I feel like getting mentors is an important thing. Paying for coaches that know what they're doing. So, like for example, I have two mentors that are here in the tribe that mentor me. For example, Tom Black, he's one of my mentors. Joel Gandara, he's another one of my mentors. And so, like mentors along the way have always helped me, guide me, and think bigger and think like from another perspective, right? So I would definitely consider that. I would consider that. I think that having a mentor guide you along the way is important, because sometimes we're in our own mind. We're thinking the same thoughts. I forget the exact quote. Einstein says something about, he says something about you're basically thinking the same questions over and over again. It's the definition of insanity type of thing, right? We're not insane. That's kind of stupid if you think about it. But what I'm saying is that a lot of times we're in the same cycle of thoughts, right? We're thinking the same thing over and over again. So we have a coach or a mentor that says, Edwin, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we talked about this last time and you're still not doing it. You're kind of shook. You're like, damn, did he just say that to me? And then you're like, all right, well, you know what? I'm going to do this different then, right? And a lot of times, since we're the top person in the company, there's nobody telling us what to do. There's nobody giving us suggestions. There's nobody giving us advice. There's nobody telling us how it is and saying, there's nobody saying, Erica, like, what the hell are you doing? Like, what were you thinking doing that? That would be kind of mean if I said that, but at the same time, what I mean is there's nobody giving advice from the outside, and it's not the same. Sometimes I definitely have meetings with my employees that give me advice, and I welcome a lot of their feedback that I get, but it's not the same when you kind of talk to someone that you respect and they give you their input on what they believe that your next steps could be, or input on things and ideas that you have about your business. So I would definitely consider mentorship, seminars, audible books. I think always reading books is important. I like to do audibles. Podcasts I think are good too. So just I think those are great as well. Just listening to the mentor sessions on this group I think is great as well. So I will just keep that in mind. And then the last question of the day is from Michael Reyes. Michael asks, what is the key to finding and keeping employees? So the business description and background of the question: we wash cars. It's not hard work or long work. It's quite fun and freeing, but it's hard to find people who are willing to commit to a full-time position, even with great pay. Awesome. So again, like, this is like a bread and butter type of situation, meaning like that we all deal with this. We all deal with this situation. We've dealt with coworkers. You see the people that come and go. You dealt with this in any situation. If you played on a sports team before, you see where people come to try out and they leave. They come for a week and leave. They come for a month and leave. People don't have a quick change of heart a lot of times, right? And so this is a common situation. So what you're asking is, what is the key to finding and keeping good employees? I feel like there are many keys to finding and keeping good employees. There are many, 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 many keys, but I'll give you a few keys that I feel like have made a difference for me. First of all, if you're you want to see, I would say number one, you want to look at your own employees and see like who are the people that have been with me the longest, and who are the people that I enjoy. I'm glad. Let's say you have an employee that's been with you for 3 years or 5 years or 10 years, and you look at them and you're like, I want more employees like this one. And so you might want to look at how did you find that person? Where did you find that person? Can you go back to that place and ask that person for more, like ask that person, find more people in that place? Can you ask that person for a recommendation? Maybe they can give you a recommendation. Can you get recommendations from people that you like in your business, from people that are in your business? Always asking for recommendations from there is important. And then another thing is also, I would just say, so that's number one. And then number two, So I feel like getting recommendations, finding, you know, like where you had success before, you want to look there again. You know, in my business, where I've had a lot of success in getting people is just putting up a sign in our store. That's where I get the best people. Putting up a sign in the stores. That's it. I've done Craigslist, I've done Indeed. None of that shit works for me. It's just putting up a sign, says we're looking for somebody, call here, fill this survey out, and we're gonna give you a call. That has been the best type of employee for me, and that works out for me. When I get someone on Craigslist, it's flakiness and this, but then the person next to me can say, you know, Craigslist has worked for me, Indeed has worked for me, you know, this has Facebook has worked for me, and you know, everybody has a different place to get free people. Number two, you know, another thing that I would add on to this is say that you want to see what are the interview questions that you're asking them. Are you getting their work job history? You know, I think if you're looking for somebody that you say finding and keeping employees, right? So I'm assuming that you want to keep an employee for a long time, which is I do too. I value keeping an employee for a long time because a lot of it is invested into that person. So I would just basically say in regards to that is just asking them, you know, where have they worked before? How long have they worked before? And why did they leave? You know, what was the reason for leaving? And just kind of look into that and just figure that out. And then you'll see, had they had a stable job history? You want to figure that out. I think that's really important. If they've had like jobs where they've been 1 year here, 2 years here, 5 years here, 3 years here, that's a stable person. You might want to look into that person. Why did they leave their last job? Oh, everybody got downsized, or they closed the company down. You know, they didn't get fired. The company got closed down. So that could be somebody that can work out really well for you. So that, and then another tip I'll add on to this is another organization that Sean highly recommends is the Culture Index. And that's I highly recommend Culture Index. Basically, it just profiles the people the prospects that you have in your company, and it just lets you know. It basically analyzes the person to see what type of person they are. Are they a salesperson? Are they a driver? Are they a person that's going to go generate sales for you? Are they someone that's very detail oriented? Someone that's going to like know every little detail about what you're doing. I'm assuming in a car wash you need, maybe, is it detail oriented people that are washing cars? I would think so. I don't know. You tell me. You know, I've never done car washing before, but I would assume the workers that you need are people that are people that are very detail oriented, right? Do they need to be people? Maybe. I would, hopefully they would maybe talk to the customers. I don't know if they do though. Maybe the person that's the receptionist, maybe they need to be a people person. You know, you don't want to have a serious, quiet person answering the phone calls, or maybe like welcoming your guests onto the people, right? So anyway, what's it called? At the end of the day, I'll just say that. And let's see here. At the end of the day, so yeah, I will keep those two things. And at the end of it, I will say that's all the questions for today. And I hope you guys enjoy the mentor session. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you later.